This is Susan Wilbanks with blendedinsight.com. I am a holistic and integrative healing arts practitioner, an intuitive, and an energy healer. In this podcast, I share tips, tools, and suggestions that have helped me along my path in hopes of inspiring and helping you along yours. Let's get started with today's podcast topic.
Hello, bright soul. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening to this. I'm coming to you from a snowy, cold Colorado day. The snow is gently falling. I don't have on my space heater right now because I already blasted it for 2 hours. And now that it's turned off, I'm feeling like I should have left it on, but that's neither here nor there. I'm warm and cozy in my home and spending time with my favorite people. And I'm so grateful you chose to take a little time out from this nutty world and tune in together and create this safe, sacred container. So get some coffee, find a comfortable space, take a break from the world. That is my intent with my channel. Take a break from the world and take some time to reach for a higher feeling thought. So important right now when the world feels more stirred up than ever. This is a crazy time on the planet. All the political changes, global uncertainty, social shifts. It can feel very overwhelming. And let me assure you, these moments, no matter how chaotic, are opportunities for transformation. And I want to talk about this today. How do we navigate these changes with grace, clarity, and strength? And these things that are going on, all these policy changes, they're affecting me too, personally. It's affecting me. And this isn't the first time. So I'm not sitting from a lotus tree position, disconnected from the world, giving all of this advice that I personally do not have to live. I'm in the trenches just like you. We are all experiencing it from different vantage points and in different ways, but we're all in this same energy. So I wanted to talk about this and tell you how I have learned to navigate this in previous changes similar to this and now. So I want to acknowledge first, there's an intensity in what's happening in the world. I know it. I know that it feels intense. And also it can just feel like the pace of change. It can feel like we're standing on shaky ground. And in some regards we are, and this is how change happens. But again, this isn't the first time the world has faced upheaval. History has taught us over and over that chaos often precedes transformation. So you can think of this like an earthquake. It shakes things up to make space for something new to emerge. And what we're experiencing right now in this collective energy is uncomfortable invitations to grow. It's to shift our perspectives and it's to align us with something greater. So one of the things I wanted to offer right out of the bat, because I can feel the angst of the energy, is take a moment to identify what's in your control right now and what's not. And you could even take a piece of paper, draw a line down the center. One side, what's in my control. The other side, what's not in my control. And write down what you can. Because when you focus your energy on what you can influence, which is your thoughts, your actions, and your immediate surroundings, you reclaim your power. One of the biggest challenges during times like these is staying grounded. News alerts, social media, constant conversations. It's so easy to get swept up in the noise, but you don't have to live that way. And I'm so grateful that I learned these tools so long ago, and I'm really leaning into them now because this is time. The time is always now. But when you learn these tools and you actually practice them, it really gives you a higher perspective. So, and I know we talk about this a lot, but this is something that I'm going to reintroduce it, talk about it. Limit your media consumption. 1 or 2 trusted sources. Set boundaries on how you check the news. I have someone that sends me news stuff, and while I kind of agree, I'm over it. I don't want to hear it anymore. I'm tired of it. And I've told him over and over, I'm over it. I don't want to hear it. I'm over it. I don't want to hear it. And he floods my DMs with all of these clips. I don't even watch them. And I don't respond to them. As soon as I see what it is, I just click off. Stop. You're not in control of what I choose to consume. I'm in control of what I choose to consume, and I can simply click off. I don't have to consume this. The other thing is creating a grounding routine, a morning walk in nature, a simple meditation, 5 minutes of deep breathing. Put yourself in your happy place. So important. And stay present. When you feel that anxiety creeping in, when you feel yourself holding your breath and becoming contracted, bring yourself back to the present moment, focus on your breath or the sensations around you, and soothe yourself. one of the quick grounding meditations that you can do, and we can do it right now. Close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath in through your nose, exhale slowly through your mouth, and picture roots growing from your feet, anchoring you deep into the earth, and feel the stability and the support. And as you breathe, say to yourself, I am grounded, I am safe, I am present. Because here's the deal. Focus on what you can control. It is so easy to feel powerless during uncertain times. But the truth is, even when the world feels out of control, there's so much you can influence within your own life. So, here are 3 guiding principles I want to share. And I know I've shared these before, but it's so important to have these reminders because I remind myself of these things. Because sometimes I start to get, I don't want to say overwhelmed, but I get agitated because on a day-to-day basis, I'm surrounded by people who do not do this type of work that I do. So I have to be in the middle of that when I'm surrounded by people that don't do any of this stuff and they don't believe in it and don't respect it and all those things. And I cannot allow their path to interfere with mine. So even when changes are being thrust upon you, you still have a decision to make. You can choose how you want to respond. I remember years ago, I was listening to Dr. Wayne Dyer talk to someone. He was active duty military and he was being assigned somewhere that he didn't want to go. And he was saying, I have to go. If I don't, I'll be considered AWOL. And Dr. Wayne Dyer told him, you actually don't have to. You have a choice. And of course, he gets defensive. No, if I don't go, I'll get thrown in jail. Okay, well, that would be a choice. You always have a choice. Choices have consequences, but you always have a choice. So allowing yourself to understand and really soak in the fact that actually I do have a choice. I'm always going to make the best choice in any given situation. And then I'm going to choose the mindset that I have around that. And I'm going to turn things over that I can't control to a higher force, to a higher source, and I'm going to be in the flow. And I'm going to focus on what I can and make the best out of it. We want to be flexible and flowing, not rigid. Rigid things snap. If you ever see something rigid and you see a big wind gust come, it snaps. But when something is loose and flowing, it just kind of flows back and forth. It stays grounded and there's a flow to it and a trust and turning things over. And oftentimes, challenges that squeeze us, challenges that make us feel a little threatened or fearful, that's our opportunity to deepen our spiritual practice. Without these things that come, oftentimes people just when things are good, people don't have a desire to go deeper or dig in or try. There's no desire. But when something big happens that brings you to your knees, you see people going, oh my gosh, God, where are you? It deepens your spiritual practice. So it's all perfect and it's all in alignment. So what you can do is focus on what's right in front of you. In any given moment, ask yourself, what can I do right now to improve my state of mind or situation? It could be getting some fresh air, tackling a small task, or just choosing to breathe deeply. Like instead of reacting emotionally, take a pause, breathe deeply, and release what's beyond your control. If it's outside your sphere of influence, don't let it live rent free in your mind. You don't want to energize it. Redirect that energy into things you can shift, like your mindset, your relationships, your daily routines. And don't think, this is the other big one, don't take things personally. Other people's actions or words, it reflects their own fears, their own frustrations, their own conditioning. So when you feel triggered, pause and ask yourself, is this really about me? If you're easily triggered, you're easily controlled. Release that. What's the bigger perspective here? And what can I learn from this situation without taking it to heart? By focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't, this is how you create that inner sanctuary of peace, no matter what's happening around you. I remember years ago, my daughter was small and she was just starting elementary school and I was a single parent. I was in the process of taking her father to court for child support. He's always been inactive in her life, bare minimum or more or less, never wanted to just pay child support or support her financially. And so for a long time, I was just trying to chase him down, get him in court just to do the absolute bare minimum. So it was one of those times and I had to pay for her daycare and I was commuting really far from work. having to take all my sick leave, all my personal leave just to take her to appointments. And if you've ever been a single parent, you know how this is. And I had partnered with someone who had put me in debt. I mean, I was so stressed, y'all. I was so stressed, scraping by. And I was like, okay, well, there's something to learn from this. I can only do what I can do and let go of the rest. How people treat me as their karma, how I react as mine. And I'm just going to focus on the things I can control. There's something to learn here. Something about my decisions, something. There's karmic, something. I don't know the whole picture. I don't know the whole answers. I'm just going to focus on what I can control. So I go to work and we get furloughed at work. This was under Obama. He furloughed us for a little bit. What was so crazy is the men around me who had been, they retired, they were collecting retirement, they were married, they were doing very well, way better than I was financially. They had dual incomes, all of them. Oh my goodness, to watch them fall apart and whine and cry and freak out. And I was scraping by, y'all, scraping by. I had the best attitude about it and thought, well, there isn't anything I can do. I know that God is my source. I know that God's going to take care of me. And all I can do is make the best decision I can at that time. So I had decided to go back to school during that time because I thought, well, I'm going to have extra time. I still had some GI Bill credits that I could apply to college. And I had started an MBA program. It was so boring. It was just a repeat of my bachelor program in business. It just had longer papers. It was literally the same program with longer papers. And I thought, there's no reason for me I don't need this. So I'm going to use my GI Bill on the day off that I'm being furloughed to do something that I actually enjoy. So then I had signed up for Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. And that's when I started taking the hypnotherapy classes and I started getting these practitioner diploma programs because it was fun. And it was something that, it was work, but it was something that I enjoyed. And so I took that energy and just said, okay, well, let me make the most of this time and I'm not going to worry about it. And we weren't even furloughed that long and we got back paid. So it all worked out. And I just noticed the way the people that really don't have much to worry about freak out. And it's the people who have a lot to lose, but who are grounded in faith and the ones that are doing the practices that just kind of smooth by. And I'm not saying it's always the case, but I'm saying it is not what's happening. It's how you respond. And I wanted to share that with you because I know, and again, I'm being affected right now. Just like a lot of other people, I'm being personally affected and my schedule could change. And all I can do is make the best decision in any given moment. I'm not going to freak out. I'm not going to act like I'm powerless. I'm going to gather the facts, get everything in front of me, and I'm always turning it over to God. I'm always connecting with my higher self, asking for guidance. My practices do not change. In times of turmoil, in times of great change, they deepen. And I know this from experience. So get yourself centered and then take inspired action. Taking action doesn't mean you have to fix everything. It means focusing on what you can control, letting go of what you can't, and create that inner sanctuary of peace, no matter what's happening around you. So here's what you can do right now. Focus on your values. What matters most to you? Is it your family, your faith, your community? Let those values guide your actions and then get involved in ways that resonate. This could mean voting, attending local meetings, peacefully advocating for a cause you believe in, or I don't know, whatever it is that you feel drawn to. Small actions have ripple effects. And the other thing that you can do, and this is a big one, is visualizing the world you want to see. So when you focus on peace, justice, abundance, you're contributing to that energy. Just like when you focus on the hatred and the vile and all that's going, you're energizing that. So what thought forms do you want to resonate with and what thought forms do you want to align to? It begins in your mind. So ask yourself, and this is something to do during the day, also just checking in. What energy am I contributing to right now to the collective today? And how can I show up as a calm, grounded influence in my home, workplace, or community? Because in challenging times, connection is everything. Humans are wired for connection. And we're stronger when we support each other, right? So a lot of times it can bring people together. It really it depends on you and how you choose to respond. So this is the perfect time to deepen your spiritual practice. Join a circle, whether it's a prayer group, a meditation circle, Patreon, even, something like that, something that inspires you and focuses on the energy that you want to bring in. So we're going to go into a healing, and you can uncross your arms and legs. I'm going to do a quick clearing on you, bring in some beautiful energy to help you feel more grounded and more connected to that still small force within you that is, it doesn't matter what change is going on externally. It's the same. It doesn't change. So you can drop in, focus on your breathing. I will turn the healing on. Okay, and so it is. You can come back into your body, and I hope that healing helped. And I just want to leave you with this reminder. You are not powerless, even when the world feels chaotic. Focus on what you can control, release what you can't, stay grounded to your values, and then that way you get to choose how you navigate these shifts. And hopefully you choose to join me and do your very best. It's a practice. We're not perfect, but navigating it with grace and resilience. And here's a great affirmation that might help you to be reminded of all the things we talked about today and anchor you back into the healing energy is, I am grounded, strong, and focused. I trust in my ability to influence what I can and release what I can't. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. And if you're interested in Patreon, the link is in my show notes. And as always, I appreciate you so much from the bottom of my heart. Stay grounded, stay connected. This too shall pass, and you will get through it just like you have everything else. Take care. Bye-bye.